Well, look at what we have here. Hi, this is Beer Guy Bry speaking, and today we have resin right out of Sixpoint Brewery. It's a double IPA. So when you see two I's in front of the PA, you're going to know it's a double IPA. Some will just flat out say double IPA, but most of the time you'll see the two I's in front of that beer representing a double IPA. So normally I take a sip from the can and then from the glass. However, I already recorded a video before this and kind of screwed up because it doesn't say double IPA on here. I just figured it was an IPA. However, after tasting it, I was like, you know what? This is definitely a double. And I didn't want to ruin the video for you guys, so I figured I'd just re-record it and kind of give you guys my take. So anyway, this is resin. It's right out of Sixpoint Brewery in Brooklyn. Located in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn. Yeah, as you can probably already tell, I've had a couple sips already, and you'll know why. So 12 fluid ounce can, 9.1% alcohol by volume. There you go. Explains why I'm kind of fumbling over my words right now. 103 IBUs, 9.5 SRMs. I don't know what that means, but if that means something to you, then go for it. So, and then ale. I don't know why they would put ale there. Yeah, it's an Indian Pale Ale, but definitely a double IPA. And if you're ever wondering too, so when you buy an IPA, generally the alcohol by volume's lower. It's probably going to be around I would say the 5.5 range to maybe around 7. But, I might be wrong. I'm sure there's probably beer connoisseurs out there that could correct me. But typically, from what I've noticed, 7 or above is typically your double IPA. But then there's triple IPAs out there that are a little bit more, higher in alcohol content. So, anywho, on the back here it reads, we remember our first sip of hoppy beer. Do you? And I do. My first sip of hoppy beer, I was at a restaurant out in Ohio, and I ordered a flight. I was like, man, I tried, I had the ale, I had the lager, I had the brown ale, the Irish red, and then I had the IPA, and I was like, wait a minute, and I didn't know which ones were which, because I was, tasting, I was like, and they didn't have anything, labeled. I was like, wait a minute, what is this beer? It was more hoppy, flavorful. I loved it. And so after the flight, I was calling to the waitress. I was like, excuse me, miss, what in the world was this beer? She was like, oh, that's this blah, 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 blah. I don't know what brewery, brewed it at the time. IPA. I'm like, man, this was delicious. So I actually ordered a big glass of it. And then eventually down the road, I learned the history of IPAs. I thought, India created Indian Pale Ales, but they didn't. When India was occupied by the British really wanted their good old-fashioned beers from back at home. And when they went to go and ship those good old-fashioned beers from Britain out to India, they would spoil. They're like, oh, well, how are we going to fix that? Let's add more hops. Let's preserve it by adding more hops. And so that's why you get more of a hoppy flavor. So all those beers that they were drinking before, back in Britain, they were just more hoppy to, help preserve the beer on the travels from Britain to India. So that's how this was born, Indian Pale Ales. I bet you guys probably already knew that. No, Brian, I swear. Anyway, so this is good beer. I would highly recommend it. whenever I'm not a big fan of double IPAs, but I am a really big fan of this. So, I mean, maybe I have like a little bit of flavor, a little bit of, oh yeah, there's a little bit in there left. Maybe I could take a sip of that so you guys can and kind of get an idea as to what it's like drinking from a can. So, here we go. Cheers. Yeah, definitely got a little bit from the can. Good. So double IPAs, even though they are like a little bit more in alcohol content, it's just the flavor. It's like much more malty and bold. Definitely taste the hops. So really malty kind of like taste, like flavor. I'm trying to give an example. Like eat a piece of chocolate and then eat. Maybe not. let me like not even get into that story. I was thinking of what are those malt balls for Easter that people yeah, it's like chocolate's like very very crispy, like yeah, you know, this is cocoa, and then they get the malt balls. It's like, oh, well, it's kind of good, but it tastes very, you know, like bland. It's like a bland flavor of chocolate, you know. Some people really like that malty flavor, but me, I'm all about clean, crisp, and under the control. I don't even like milk chocolate. I like dark chocolate. I'll eat cocoa nibs. I don't care. That's that's how hardcore I am. So anyway, this is not Beer Guy Bry's channel of sweets. This is my beer channel. So here we go. So we're done with that. I'll just leave that there for your viewer liking ship. And now we have it poured into the glass. So what I was doing in the other video too is it was slick. I wish I would have been able to do it now. But anyway, when you pour, make sure the glass is tilt and you pour it in this way. Okay, so that the liquid will hit like right around this area. So it would leave for like a clean pour. See how much, I guess it's called froth, or like, you know, little fizzies up at the top, you know what? So that's what it's going to look like. But then if you really wanted to impress your friends, you, right before this is empty, you tilt this back and then you pour the rest in. And then it leaves like a nice little layer of froth, which is pretty freaking cool. So, yeah, I'll show that in other videos too. I'm sure I'm probably going to explain it to you guys again also, because I like to explain things over and over and over. Yeah, I just like, well, I was track of freaking what I was saying. So anyway, but your pale ales are a lot lighter than this color. So this is a double, so it looks a little bit more amber-ish in color, but then your triples are going to be looking a lot darker than what you see here, okay? So let me see if I can, there you go. Yeah, so it's a good amount, like right there in the middle. So let me go ahead and taste right from the glass. And as I always do, I always smell the beer before I taste. All right, good. So it definitely tastes exactly how it smells. It doesn't. It preps your mind into thinking like, oh yeah, this is what's going in my palate, and it's delicious. The smells great. The taste is great. It's one of my go-tos. Really easy on the wallet. This is it comes in a 6-pack. So what I typically will do is I get like a 4-pack of those, you know, special beers from, you know, around my area. But then I'll get a 6-pack of this just because, again, like I said, like it's easy on the wallet. It's gonna make you feel pretty good that night. It almost it leaves you like relaxed. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had like a shot of bourbon, but there's definitely like a different kind of feeling drinking like a whole bunch of Budweisers and then that kind of drunk to, or buzzed, or what do you want to call it, to drinking a whole bunch of lagers and then getting that buzz to a whole bunch of IPAs, ales, whatever it is, and stouts too. But yeah, like this double IPA, I don't know, it's just like it really makes you feel relaxed. I like it. It's good. But anyway, after smelling and drinking, I definitely get that like that malty kind of flavor. Like you look at your IPAs, it's like crisp, it's flourful. I mean, it got that flowery like IPA taste. It's like boom, love it, great. Let's move on. This, it's like the like malt to the chocolate. I would drink this. I mean, I'm not a I'm not a malt. Whatever. I explained it before. Like I don't like malt over regular basic chocolate. So yeah, I'll admit I do love my IPAs more than I love my doubles. But if I'm ever gonna drink a double, to be honest with you, it'd be resin. It smells great, tastes great, and yeah, again, it's easy on the wall. I could drink. Well, I can't drink plenty of these. I was gonna say that because like 9.1%. Yeah, there's no way. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I'd just be spinning around the room all day. So anyway, okay, so that's what I got for you today. I got resin. It's one of my favorite beers. I am going to try to like introduce you guys to as many beers that you guys could then acquire, like where you're located. Oh, I forgot to. So this was also established this brew was established in 2004. So it's been around. It's been around for a while. You can definitely get this, or you should be able to get this at your local liquor store. But yeah, it's a must try. And if you ever wanted to like what I like to do with my beers too is like I like to eat like either potato chips. Like I like the kettle cooked because they're nice and crispy. But then like I'll have a couple of chips, take a sip of beer. Couple of chips, sip of beer. Just because it helps clean the palate. Then when you take the sip of beer again, it's like sipping for the first time. So it always like renews that experience of what the beer you're drinking tastes like. So that I know with some beers it's like you drink one sip, oh that was great, that's amazing. And after a while it's like, okay, yeah, this is whatever, this is good, whatever. And then eventually, before you know it, you're drunk. And then you can't taste anything. So when you chase it with like tortilla chips or potato chips, sometimes I'll do it with Doritos because I love Doritos. But I highly recommend just sticking with the like tortilla chips because less calories if you're worried about your weight. And then using that to clean your palate to then take your next sip of beer. Again, like highly recommend that method just so that you can, if you're like a beer connoisseur, if you really like your beers, you can relive that moment, that first sip moment over and over and over again. Okay? So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and next video I'll show you guys how to pour again. I don't know if I've done it before, but, I'm going to keep on showing you guys every single video just because I'm pretty cool, if you haven't already noticed. But anyway, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and cheers.